turns the corner. Williams, watch out. Denied. Darren Williams had it.
He stopped about 3 feet short of the rim and just threw it down.
Ralph, it's like the elevator went to the third floor.
Oh, what a play by Blake. The fans are buzzing.
Did he show you a little something there, Ralph? But you talk about the whole package. Ball handling, shot fake.
Griffin slammed dunk with a left hand and he's fouled.
Ralph, he changed hands in midair.
Okay, in today's video, it's not going to be any dramatic intro. I'm just going to get straight to the point, but I'm going to still introduce myself. Your boy is back. Your boy Eli Fi is back with you guys with another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Now, in today's video, as you guys can see the title, man, it is just so sad what is going on, what is going down in recent history within Blake Griffin's career, man. I'm, as a longtime NBA fan regarding myself, I have watched a lot of Blake Griffin during his Lob City Clipper days with DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, Jamal Crawford, and other players and company that was revolved around that team. And that has just been such a fun team to watch in my perspective. I've always liked to tune into Clippers games revolving around Blake Griffin because Blake Griffin was such an entertaining player to watch. Looking at how athletic he used to be, looking at how he was just a highlight reel, and watching him play basketball during those times was just an impressive feat and very fun basketball to watch. And now he was on the Pistons and things are not looking too good for Blake Griffin. And as of right now, the Pistons are currently sitting Blake Griffin out in order to see what the future withholds for Blake Griffin in the future, basically to get him out of the Pistons organization. And we don't really know where Blake Griffin is going to go regarding what NBA team is going to trade for him, or something worse is, where is his career gonna go? What is his career going to lead up to by the time his career ends, or by the time we are seeing the wit's end of his career? Like, I really don't know. Other than that, Blake Griffin has just always been a player that I've always liked to watch. I've always enjoyed watching in regards to my time watching NBA basketball, and I'm just sad to see where Blake Griffin's career is going, and that is going to be the topic of today's video. Now, before today's video starts, I'm just going to ask you guys to do me one quick favor, and that is to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys want to request any future video topics in the comment section below, you can. But other than that, let us start today's video. Now, if some of you guys that are watching this video as of right now wasn't able to witness Blake Griffin's early career within the Los Angeles Clippers organization, I'm just gonna enlighten you real quick. The Blake Griffin that you are currently watching on the Detroit Pistons is nowhere near the Blake Griffin that he once was during his prime. There is a huge difference revolving around Blake Griffin's game that is now present with him in present time, and this is something that is very hard to get used to. Blake Griffin used to be one of the most athletic players in the NBA league as a whole, and he was able to jump through the roof, able to dunk on his competition consistently. And as we are in today's NBA season, I don't even remember the last time that Blake Griffin was able to posterize anybody, or let alone dunk the ball in any way. To make matters worse, revolving around Blake Griffin's circumstances in his career thus recently, this season for Blake Griffin has been a season that is now showing us NBA fans that he is currently on a fast decline. Now, me personally, I haven't watched that many Pistons games so far in the 2020-21 NBA season, but I have watched enough games to make me come to the conclusion that he simply isn't that great of a player anymore. Take into consideration that he used to be very dominant in the paint, and he was always a threat on the court for a player on the opposing team at high risk to get posterized, or simply the opposing team losing the game due to the greatness of Blake Griffin and the greatness of other players within the Clippers organization at that time. On the Detroit Pistons, he is nothing more but a spot-up shooter, and it seems like he has lost a plethora of his post game, as he simply can't dominate in that perspective in the game of basketball like he was once able to do. Referring to the NBA season as of currently, Blake Griffin is averaging 12.3 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, and 3.9 assists per game, shooting on a terrible 36.5 field goal percentage and a 31.5 3-point percentage. Judging only based off of stats, this has to be arguably Blake Griffin's worst season of his NBA career so far, and it is obvious as of right now that things are more likely to get worse for his circumstances due to the fact that he is getting older and nothing thus far doesn't seem to be going in Blake Griffin's favor. Analyzing Blake Griffin's recent history with the Detroit Pistons organization, the whole moral of the story that I'm trying to get at is the fact that things aren't looking up for Blake Griffin's career as they once were back in the past during his time with the Lob City Clippers days. And you have to take all of that into consideration, and you just gotta come up with one reason as to why things are looking as grim as they are during Blake Griffin's career as of right now. And that number one thing as to why Blake Griffin isn't the same player that he once was has to be injuries. Now, it is completely safe to agree that Blake Griffin has suffered a nasty nag of injuries during his whole entire NBA career. Now, you can even go as far to say that Blake Griffin has had this bug of injuries ever since his career even started, judging the fact that he had to miss his whole entire rookie season due to an injury on his left kneecap. Now, take that standpoint into consideration and just keep that in your head. As I've already said earlier in this video, Blake Griffin has always had a resume of being a high athletic freak of nature player day in and day out of NBA games during his Lob City Clipper days. Now, take that standpoint into consideration and combine that standpoint with the fact that he had to experience a plethora of injuries during his time of dominance of athleticism. And you just have to take into perspective that eventually his body will take a toll on him negatively as his career goes on and on and on, and as he gets older and out of his prime. And it seems like we are seeing Blake Griffin's body take a negative toll on him on his current years on the Pistons due to the fact that he can't perform at a high athletic level anymore, and he simply can't contribute to the game of basketball as efficiently as he was able to in the past. Now, obviously, it is true that players that hold a play style of athleticism eventually suffer a case of lost athleticism due to their bodies not being capable of performing at that same athletic level due to old age. And it is almost certain that Blake Griffin was eventually going to suffer this same circumstance no sooner than later. To date Blake Griffin's circumstances in a more in-depth way, in the 2018-19 NBA season, he was able to revamp his style of play to evolve his game less on athleticism on his first true season with the Detroit Pistons, developing a jump shot, being able to be an effective playmaker, and he was able to play at a high level without athleticism, and he went as far as to be considered an all-star for that season. And this season is arguably Blake Griffin's best season of his whole entire NBA career. Considering these events in the 2018-19 NBA season, Blake Griffin has went from this all-star season to a heavy decline just in a 2-year period, and the cause of this decline is none other than injuries. After the 2018-19 NBA season ended, Griffin has once again experienced injuries as his career went forward, and it results to what we are currently seeing from Blake Griffin this season. It seems like Blake Griffin has lost all of his confidence to basically dominate at the game of basketball, and this has to be because of him thinking mentally that he can't perform at the level that he once was able to perform at during his 2018-19 season because of injuries hindering him from his great potential. We are at the point currently regarding the Detroit Pistons looking for trade destinations for Blake Griffin, basically to ship him out of this organization in order to let the young players for this team flourish for the greater good. It is still uncertain to the whole NBA culture as to where Blake Griffin will be headed to next, and it is still uncertain if Blake Griffin will gain confidence for him to play as a great caliber player due to him suffering major injuries consistently. Now, before I conclude this video, I'm just going to say this one thing first. As much as we are seeing Blake Griffin's circumstances basically against him as of right now, I still have hope in Blake Griffin. I feel like once Blake Griffin gets traded to another team, I feel like Blake Griffin is going to have somewhat of a comeback season, and he's going to be able to gain all of his confidence back to play the game of basketball. He somewhat is not going to be able to experience injuries somehow, some shape or form. God forbid he doesn't. And he's going to be able to be a great contributor to the game of basketball once he's able to step foot on the court again. And I feel like Blake Griffin has this burning urge to come back strong, and he's still currently right now, he's still 31 years old. He still has time to flourish in the NBA. I mean, he doesn't have that much time, but the time is still there. And I feel like once he gets shipped out from the Detroit Pistons organization, he will use that opportunity to dominate in the game of basketball on another team. And he will prove to everybody that he is still the Blake Griffin that we all once knew of, but not in the athletic Blake Griffin way, but in the Blake Griffin way that we've already witnessed in the skillful manner in the 2018-19 NBA season. But other than that, that will be the end of today's video. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel. I will greatly appreciate it. I'm out. Peace.